think it's gonna work this
The
time.
host has started broadcasting the meeting.
Okay, it worked. You're
It's
broadcast.
working, I think. Yeah. I think we're in. I'm just going to start recording. There we go. So hello, beautiful goddesses. I hope you're doing great in your corner of the world. I'm doing wonderful here in near the Red Sea, Egypt. So we're back on Monday, and we're going to enjoy another empowered goddess coffee chat with the goddesses of the round table. And today I have with me Lauren. She's she's going to be hopping on our calls. And I also have Lizy and Leman on the call today. So it's going to be a fun time. And our topic for today will be living in the past, basically, like our past. We all have a past. So we're going to be talking about, how it can either keep us stuck or how we can learn to, that it can be a lesson for us to learn. So that'll be our topic. And for those of you who are new to these calls, my name is Wendy. I'm your Divine Feminine Holistic Wellness Coach. I'm very excited to be doing these chats with you. And after struggling with postpartum depression 24 years ago, I went down a very dark tunnel, but I'm back. I climbed my way up. I learned tools and I worked on myself a lot. And that's what pushed me to become a coach, and because my goal is to also help other women and moms to also overcome their challenges. Life is full of challenges and it can be a pretty lonely journey. So if I can guide you, if I can hold your hand, support you, that's my goal. You shouldn't have to go through it alone. And what I love about this group is that it's a safe space for women gathering together and healing together in sisterhood. So I'm going to give the mic to Lauren, and she can tell us a little bit about what she does, and then we'll go down to Lizy and Leman. So take it away, Lauren.
Thank you so much, Wendy. And I'm so excited to be here. So nice to meet everybody and connect with you. My name is Lauren Winzell. I am a clairvoyant life coach and transformation specialist. I am a human design expert and also read the Akashic Records. I'm a certified Akashic Record reader. And what I help clients with is really tune into their individual selves, like really aligning to who they were designed to be, looking at their DNA through a systematic system, looking at human design. Human design is fascinating. I'm obsessed with it. I'm going on 6 years now of my experiment and really knowing this intel, and then also integrating past life, integrating, transmuting karma in that way has been very, very powerful for me and really powerful for my clients as well. So I think using just a blend of the modalities I use is really powerful. What I've, healed from. And then so I, like Wendy was saying, what we've healed from and what has worked for us, we're here to be teachers of that. We're here to guide in that way. And so that's really my purpose as to why I'm here, and also just connecting, getting to know everybody that is in alignment with that, learn from one another, and just see how much more fun we can have. We don't have to be caught up in the doing of things. It's really just being connected, listening to each other, and being present. And I hope that we can all experience that more.
Awesome. So guys, I'm Lizy, a divine feminine wellness coach, clairvoyant practitioner, light language practitioner. I'm sorry, I'm tripping all over my words today. Certified light language practitioner. I'm also visually impaired, which allows me to see the world through a different lens completely. Very interesting. I love helping women step into their goddess selves, activate their goddess powers, and live a full life, attracting and manifesting what they deserve. Because I believe life is a gift and we have every right to all the beautiful things this gift has to offer. And that's just me, short and sweet, basically.
Hey, so hello everyone, welcome again to our Inner Goddess Coffee Chats. And my name is Leman Balses, and I am a spiritual life coach, a holistic business coach, and I also do past life regression. So I'm a past life regression therapist. And I help spiritual entrepreneurs, coaches, and therapists to tap into their authentic selves, connecting with their power then so that I can start to reach profitable growth with authentic attraction marketing, creating their unique authentic brands to stand out in the crowd with their marketing message, and getting crystal clear with a marketing message so that they can start to attract their ideal soul clients with authentic attraction marketing, connecting with their power then. And that's a little about me. And yes, my mission is to help as many as spiritual entrepreneurs as I can. Being in that journey myself as a spiritual entrepreneur, I went through a stage of not knowing what to do, who to turn to, where to go with being a spiritual entrepreneur online, to creating my own unique brand so that I could help other spiritual entrepreneurs, coaches, and therapists to feed and thrive in their business. And my journey has been a crazy one, but I can say it's been a wonderful one, because if I wasn't to go through that journey, I wouldn't be here today.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm so excited that we're all here, and we also have some viewers right now. So I'm going to say hi to our soul sisters, Lina, Fiona, and Gypsy Mireille, and Lori, that are watching with us live in the group. And as usual, for all our viewers, if you feel called to it, please feel free to join us on Zoom. I will share, if you don't have it, the link, I will share it. I will share the link into the comments. And there's also a post, and it's in the chats as well. So you can find the links there too. So come on down if you want to join us. That would be great. Or you can, keep watching in the group as well. So yeah. So as I mentioned, we're going to be talking today about the past, either past lives or, things, we all have a past, and we've all gone through some challenges. And today what we want to focus on is to try, find ways to try to learn from these challenges that we overcome so that we can keep growing, because staying stuck in the past doesn't benefit us in any way. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
Okay, so basically, all right, as Wendy said, we're going to be talking about, your past lives and moving forward. I think and personally for me, one of the big problems I had, I don't know if any of you other beautiful divine feminine coaches on this line can sympathize with me or agree with me if you've been there, but one of the challenges I've had with healing and moving forward is that, I started to look at my past as this ugly scar that I wanted to just cover up or throw in a bag and then toss it out the window so I can never look at it again. And if it pops up somehow, it completely just brings a negative perspective to my life. Like, it has a negative impact on me. So I had to learn to take myself out of that person into a person who could, yes, heal, but look at my past as, okay, it happened, that happened. didn't quite like what happened, but it did. But I can learn from that, right? I could see that in a positive way as, oh my gosh, I am that much stronger because, I went through that and I came out on the other side. So I can see it in a positive way. I don't know about you guys. I know Wendy and Lauren, we were talking before, I think, was it a couple minutes before Leman hopped on? We were saying that healing can sometimes be messy. It's like giving birth. There's pain,
Yes.
yeah. And Wendy is a mom, so she could speak about this. And of course, Lauren with her human design can talk about that too, right? Healing it's messy. It's like birth, but at the end, it's beautiful because then you get to hold that little baby in your arms, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a journey. Yeah, and it's as you when you're going through or you're being triggered by things from your past, it comes big emotions. You can be either angry or sad or bitterness. You can feel shame. You can feel a lot of things, and we've been conditioned as a society to just suppress those emotions. Oh, you shouldn't cry. Oh, you shouldn't stomp your feet. Oh, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Like, it's I know I grew up that way, and I spoke about
Yeah.
that actually just this week with my during my depending on how you're raised, but me, I was raised thinking that I was not allowed to cry. I had to have a smile on my face 24 hours a day, all the time. So
Like
that's
you
how
had to
I
be
grew up.
perfect, right?
That I had to be perfect, basically. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom, she's an angel. She's amazing, but that's just the way she's been brought up and conditioned. And so, so it goes it goes from generations to generations to generations. Like, probably as a child, she was probably not allowed to express, her heavy emotions, except for, oh, okay, you have to put a smile on. So that's how, and I felt like a fraud most of my life. And I felt like I didn't belong, or that I don't know, it was just and it took me, I'm 50, and it took me, I don't know, maybe 48, 49 years to figure that out.
The
So,
beautiful 50. Frog
yeah,
princess said you
50.
feel like a frog. So I'm just thinking in my head. I'm literally laughing out loud in my head, frog princess instead of frog prince.
Ribbit, ribbit.
There's a beautiful book. We've never actually done any book recommendations on the Goddess Coffee Chat, but there's a book called Frog to Princess. I don't remember the name, but it's a beautiful metaphysical book. It's beautiful for healing.
Oh, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'll find out the proper name and I'll let you know so you can post it up in the group if any are interested in reading
Yeah,
it.
maybe we can find the link or something and post it as a post for our viewers. That's great. Yeah. So no, yeah, healing is just it's messy. It's not all, and even like spiritual awakening is not it comes with, you have to heal from it, and you have to face your fear. You have to face all these nemesises and monsters that's inside you, right? So it's not pretty. It's absolutely not
Exactly.
pretty, and not bells and whistles all the time either. Not always positive. I mean, even if we're spiritual and
No, rock.
we worked on ourselves, it's
Yeah.
not always bells and whistles. It's
And
you know
yeah. And Lauren, you can speak about this because you're into human design, right? I mean, this is literally your area of expertise. So I'm sure, oh my gosh, and a past life regression coach too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have guided people in meditation through their past lives, but I'm not certified in that way. But it just comes really natural to me. But I am certified through reading the Akashic records and channeling people's past lives and helping them clear those karmic blockages that are coming through in this life as well, which is really fascinating because when we're going through a pattern or a situation, it's usually tied to a past life or past lives. And so whenever it's coming through and I'm channeling it and I'm like, I have like the gate 63 in my human design. So the shadow is self-doubt. but then the transformation and the highest truth is the truth. So it's like I go through this process of like, oh, I'm getting this intuition, I'm getting this messages. Is this true? And then I'm like, okay, let me just surrender. And then it usually is true. So we go through this with my clients and they're like, oh my gosh, I totally resonate with this. Like, this is how it's showing up in this life. And it's so fascinating to just get that confirmation and just really trust that we are like energetic beings. Like when we surrender and we open ourselves up to the higher cosmos, to God, to your higher source, and trust what's flowing through, it's also healing your own level of self-trust, which human design is all about. It helps you decondition from all the programming of surrendering your trust to anybody outside of you, from absorbing and amplifying other people's thoughts and beliefs, their emotions, their identity, depending on where you're open in your chart. And then you see who you truly are and where your inner authority is, meaning your intuition. So 50% of the population, they are emotional authority. So they are emotionally defined. So that's going to be their emotional intuition of like, how is this making me feel? And if it's like a high, and they're like, oh, I'm so excited, I want to do this, they need to ride their emotional wave. So they're not kind of making these decisions on highs and lows. And then this is just, advice for anybody really, but we all have different inner authority. And then looking at the past and seeing where you were conditioned, where some of your shadow gates are, because we have this shadow, and this is more tied to gene keys. Gene keys is an extension of human design. It's a more spiritual expression that Richard Rudd, who was a student of Ra Uru, who was the founder of human design, created, and it's very, very beautiful. I love gene keys. It goes through this process of like, well, this is what happens when your gates are dormant, you're conditioned, they're suppressed, this is trauma here, and this is how this shows up. And then as you heal and you go through your awakening, your experiment, your deconditioning process, here's the gift of this gate, and then here's the highest expression. And so when we're looking at the past, we really need it as a reference point in a way, because I don't know if anybody's familiar with Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction. It's like when we're creating and manifesting, we do need the contrast reference point of like, okay, manifesting this, I want to bring this into my existence, and then something comes up that you don't want, and you're like, okay, that's a no. Okay, that's a good reference point, and then going and moving forward. But what happens is we get really stuck in what shows up that we don't want, and we focus on that, and then just more so acknowledging of like, okay, that's a no, I'm going to continue on what I want to call in. But as we've been talking about, the past and how to let go of that, it's really connecting with the subconscious, and the subconscious is not the conscious. Subconscious is very, very tricky. And Leman, I see you smiling and agreeing. So what is your experience with that? I would love to hear your insight.
Wow. I mean, I've been working on myself and working on my clients since 2011. I first of all started off as a spiritual life coach and had my own local office. And I've been working with this like almost a decade now. And I see it as well all the time where, it's like your higher conscience is actually connected with your subconscious mind. And the way you see it as the picture as a karma, or it's in your DNA. It's like a karmic pattern that follows you. And sometimes I've experienced myself, and I've also experienced with my clients as well, where they say, I don't think that this is a part of me. Like, this is not my thoughts, where we actually channel in. I also channeled the angels. So I also channel in with them. And now we actually see that, right? A karmic pattern is sometimes connected with their ancestors. So it's not just directly within your soul connection, but it can be converted from your ancestors into your DNA access and your soul connection. And many people that I've worked with actually fear to confront them in a way that they feel that if they do, right, they will lose themselves, or they'll lose their connection within themselves. And, you know, it's like opening that box that you have filled up with all your emotional feelings about your past, whether, you know, it's a trauma or a bad experience. Well, I always say there's no such thing as a bad experience, because every experience is a learning curve. And we experience those certain things in our lives because we have to connect with our divine self, because we have to connect with the person, the soul that we are within ourselves. So it's confronting those emotions and feelings that you have had from the past and saying, hey, you know, what have I learned from this, right? Rather than thinking that's a bad experience, or fearing of yourself, or being in that scarcity mindset, and not confronting them and putting them into that box and closing that box and putting it away, has made people feel that they are not connected. They don't feel that they are happy, wealthy. Like you said, like, you know, with Abraham Lincoln information and knowledge as well, always talks about, you know, connecting with yourself, like connecting with who you are inside, so that manifesting can work. With manifesting, once you do connect with who you are and you actually see that light within you, you actually start to see that everything, right, is possible, because we are creators, right? And the Almighty Creator gave that gift to us, right? But if we do not connect within ourselves and learn from those learning curves, right, rather than being in that scarcity mindset of our past experiences, right, or whether it's a past life, which I work a lot with my clients as well, with past life regression, and I've created my own method, angel light past life regression therapy, because I channel with the angels as well while I'm doing the sessions. They actually start to see that, you know, what happened in that past experience, that past life, right? They confront it, they see what's happened, they learn from it, and they let it go. And we heal that emotional thing.
That's so important.
Yes, yeah. So, you know, and whether it's a past life experience or whether it's an experience in this lifetime, in a past experience, right? We have to look at the way of looking at it as a good experience, not a bad experience, because all those things that we experience, whether it's something with our families, whether it's the way we grew up, whether it's something that you've experienced maybe financially or relationship issues or whatever it is, look at yourself today. It's like, okay, what have you learned from this? And look at how you have achieved through that learning, rather than looking at it and being feared from it and putting it in that box. So it's so important to actually look at it rather than being fear of your past traumas, past experiences where you've had issues, so-called issues, that you think that has developed your present life today. If you're in that mindset and you won't move forward into your past and your reality that you want to achieve.
Absolutely, it's so true. Yeah. And sometimes we wonder why we're feeling this way, or why we're just stuck in that hamster wheel. And then when we do heal and we like it feels so free. You feel so free after, once you peel off those layers, and once you face the fear, and once you know those monsters and you know those negative thoughts, it changes your life. It changes the game, the whole game. once I started to do that and I let go of, everything and forgave myself and all that, like it opened so many doors. Like I used to be such a negative person. I used to be depressed all the time. I used to be really negative. And now, like, it's you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I still have my bad days, of course. We all have bad days, but at least I can, if something happens, I can just say, okay, whatever, this too shall pass, and just keep going about my day. So
you
but
know how to look at it from a different mindset, right?
Yeah.
You know that, yes, okay, this is something. What do I have to learn from this, right? What's going on with my energy frequency? Sometimes we experience a bad experience or a bad day, but rather than being angry about it and being frustrated and being sad and being worried, right, look at it from another picture, right? So when it is, what you're saying is literally saying that when we look at it from another picture, right, you don't have to worry about it because it's something that we need to learn through. So
yeah, exactly.
every experience is something that, rather than looking at it in a bad way and saying, hey, well, I've had a really bad day today, check your energy, right? Even when we get up in the morning, right? If we're in a good mindset and we go and we have to go to the bank, right? And there's a whole queue of people and you're worried that you won't make time to go to your next appointment, right? You won't get to your next appointment, you'll be late. But when you're in that positive mindset, saying, hey, yeah, there's a whole crowd of people in line, that I will make it in time, right? You make it in time.
And manifest it. That, the power of our thoughts, right? Our thoughts are so powerful.
Yeah. So, Abraham Lincoln has a quote. I can't remember what was it again. It's like, the mind is so powerful, it can manifest the words that you speak in your abundance frequency or something like that. I have to look it up. I'm not quite sure right now. And I mean, decades and decades, this has been something that, people have been talking about. But only in like the new age reality today, we are starting to realize how important it is and the way that it actually speaks to us. We're searching for these answers, but those answers are within ourselves, not from an outside source.
Absolutely.
And you definitely agree with that, I'm sure, as a human design coach as well.
It's all connected, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is. And Leman, you said something that I actually learned from Sadhguru with his inner engineering course. I don't know if you know Sadhguru. Do you know of Sadhguru, or have you listened to any of his lectures or talks?
Yeah, I know who he is. I like him.
No, I'll look him up though.
I'll have to look him up too. Yeah.
Yeah, because Leman said something that Sadhguru said years ago, and I always thought it always resonated with me. He said, when we have a thought, it's just a thought. Who says it's a negative thought? You're the one who says it's negative. It's just a thought. You give it power. If it comes up as a thought and you're like, okay, that's just a thought. Don't post the negative stamp on it. Don't give it power, as Leman talked about. So yeah, it just reminded me. You just reminded me, Leman, because I love listening to Sadhguru. Yeah, he's pretty amazing, right, Lauren?
Yeah.
Very insightful.
I'll have to go look him up.
Definitely look him up. Yeah.
Because he said that. So when Leman started talking, I was like, the Sadhguru lecture, like literally just came to me.
Sadhguru.
It's powerful and it's true.
He's easy. He's on YouTube. Trust me. You type his name, he'll pop up. He's one of those people that'll just pop up. Yeah.
It's just really interesting that people call this like new age stuff, but it's like
It's
not really new age.
Traced to like biblical times.
Discovering it, right?
Yeah, it's like what Jesus had taught us. Like before all the
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
you know, the plagiarism or the, you know, suppression of certain things. It's like, no, you are the God within. And when you like use your word and your intention and all these things, then if you want to create something, you have to believe that it's already here. And we that live in this 3D illusion, when we're tapping into the 5D, we're actually tapping into what's already here. And so it's just allowing that to come in and believing that it's possible, but through the matrix that we live in, through, you know, generational stuff, suppression of this and that, it's just,
Conditioning.
you know, like discarding all those lenses of what's been filtered and planted in us. And then I forget who was saying this, but it's just like really asking ourselves, is this even mine? And most of the things that we believe that don't support us in our highest and don't make us feel good are not even ours. And so it's just constantly checking in. It's like, well, where did this come from? Is this even mine? What would it feel like? Like asking really good questions is the most powerful thing you can do. It's not seeking the answers, it's asking really good questions of like, well, what would be possible if, what would this feel like if, you know, I let this go, or in just self-inquiry a lot.
Yeah.
I
So
so
it's just
agree with that.
tapping in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tapping into ourselves. And as both of you spoke on manifestation and creation, you know, we can't create what we don't know. We can't create what we hadn't experienced before. Everything we're trying to manifest or create in our lives, we've actually seen and experienced it before. We're just pulling it or putting it in this present life. I mean, we want money, we want success. We know this because we've seen it and experienced it before. It's not strange to us.
Yeah.
We've
It's
already
like,
had it before.
Yeah.
it's like when you say to someone, right, what does an apple look like? Right? And everyone knows what an apple looks like, right? It's a thing, it's a fruit that's worldwide. Everyone's familiar with an apple, right? If you are to express yourself, right, and describe what an apple looks like, right, and you know exactly what it looks like, so you can manifest it, right? You can manifest an apple, right? Same way with manifesting money, same way of manifesting love, relationship, a car, a house, whatever it is, because you know what it looks like. So the power of manifesting is knowing that it exists and knowing that you can create it.
And believe in it.
Yeah, believe in it. But when you actually manifest that, you actually have already created it in a parallel reality, right? You have to believe in it, like Wendy said, right? So believing in it is a process of making that parallel reality your intimate reality and communicating with that reality to bring that into your life, rather than being in that scarcity mindset of not having.
I have a little bit of a caveat that might be a little out there to this, if you guys are open to hearing this, that I found.
Always open.
Absolutely.
So
I'm wide open.
So with manifestation, I've realized it's like if we really wanted something, it would come to us. There's something inside of us that is like scared, or it's just like it's not the right time, or our soul actually wants us to manifest something else. And it's the conditioning, right? If I have enough money, I'll be happy. If I'm in a relationship, I'll feel whole and complete. If I have this XYZ, like I will be worthy and people will see my value. And then your soul, your higher self is like, no, that's not right. You know, you actually want to manifest this. You actually want to go through this. And then you get what you already are inside of you. It's just the remembrance of, oh, I'm already whole and complete. Oh, I'm already worthy of love. I'm already happy. And then coincidentally, then your reality shifts and then you get similar things that are that frequency. And in human design, we have, so the manifestors, they're a specific type in human design. We have 5 different types, but in our charts, we're either non-specific manifestors or specific manifestors. And this is where it gets tricky or different from what the law of attraction teaches us, because we'll say, oh, we make a vision board, be very, very detailed, like feel into your experience and take those aligned action steps. So that's going to be true for specific manifestors. But if somebody's non-specific, and this is where you'll find it in the arrows in your chart, the 4 arrows in your chart, it's the bottom right arrow that's located in your chart. So if it's facing left, that's your specific manifestor. If it's facing right, you're a non-specific manifestor, and the non-specific manifestor is to manifest for the highest good. It's about being non-specific. It is tapping into the feeling of what's your intention, not being too specific, coming from your heart, coming from your soul, and then surrendering that and trusting that that's going to come into your reality. And that's something that I really had to surrender to, because when I started my business, when I was wanting to manifest money, to be financially independent, to be successful, this and that, my soul, my non-specific manifestor inside me was like, no, you actually want this. Your mind, your conditioning thinks you want this. You actually want to heal. You actually want better relationships. You actually want to be free inside. You don't want this other stuff. It's not as important. Yeah, it's nice, but you need to go through this first. And that was such a wake-up call for me. And I think this is the key to people tapping more into their happiness, their individuality, their freedom, and realizing, like, what do I actually want? Not from a society point of view, not from a conditioning point of view. Maybe it is money, maybe it is material, like possessions, which is part of their soul path, but it's really listening into their inner voice as they go through these inquiries and questions. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a heretic, and I'm a heretic in human design, so I'm here to share.
That's so true.
100%. Yeah, I agree with 100%. That's like one of the that's like one of the first steps I take with my clients. When I get clients and they're like, oh, I want to unlock my goddess, I want to be a goddess, I want to do that. One of the first things I do with them, Lauren, is literally help them to tap into themselves, to realize that yes, I am a goddess. Yes, I am beautiful. Yes, I'm fabulous. I'm all of this stuff. We're going to go through all the rest of it, but you have to accept that what you want on the outside is already on the inside. It's just for you to dig deep and unlock it, right? Unearth it for it to come up. So I'm behind you 100% on that one.
Love that.
Totally agree with you as well.
100%.
Actually, I have a manifestation that I use when I'm in that frequency, and it's, I don't know how, I don't know when, I know it's on its way. I trust the universe's divine timing. So, you know, it's like
that's a good one.
to that frequency of saying, yes.
I don't need to know how. I don't need to know when. I know what it is. And I'm a co-creator, right? Because I'm not just a creator, I'm a co-creator, because the universe is on my side and the universe is going to help me. So I'm not just fighting the fight alone. So I know I'm going to get this. It's mine. But basically, that's my understanding from your, would you call it an affirmation, Leman?
Affirmation, yes.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know how, I don't know when, I know it's on its way. I trust the universe's divine timing.
Exactly. So it's not like I don't need
that mindset of, yeah, you know, is it gonna come? Oh, you know, I won't get it. I'm like, hey, stop right there. And convert it, right? With that positive thought. And what Lauren said is literally connected with this of how you are going to go up into that frequency. With it, because the way you actually connect with yourself is believing that, you know, like you said, we are all co-creators, right? We're not just creators. We can create anything and everything in our lives. So it's that, you know, and the way that human design is, I'm always fascinated from human design. I think I'd love to learn it as well. So it's definitely on definitely on my bucket list as well. And it fascinates me, just the way it like literally connects with how accurate it is with actually,
It explains so
the,
much. It's
it
amazing.
explains so much. And it actually tells you exactly what you need to do and how you need to do it and where you are and where you want to be. Because it is that process, of literally connecting with yourself, like Lauren said. And it's like letting go of those past experiences and really, really tapping into your inner self. So it is important to, say, yes, this is who I want to be, right? But in another process, just do it. But but just do it in the process. But do you really want that, right? So it sometimes I've experienced this myself where I've wanted something to happen, right? And it hasn't happened. So and I've always said to myself, okay, right, if this doesn't happen, then there's something greater that's going to happen better than this for me. Right?
Yes.
So
Love that.
something greater that is going to happen better for me. So, okay, yes, I've been manifesting it for such a long time. Okay, I'm accepting now that, there's something greater, there's something better for me out there.
Or in its own right time. Whenever it's ready, it'll manifest itself.
Yeah.
When do I need to learn more or improve on before I get there or before it comes?
And it's like what Lauren said. Sometimes you need to ask yourself the questions, what is standing in my way? Is it me? What am I not doing? What am I doing? What is the mindset that I have? What's in my subconscious that's stopping or blocking this thing from appearing in my life? Because sometimes it's us that's literally we're blocking ourselves.
Yeah. And then we'll say, when it doesn't happen, we'll say, oh, geez, why is this happening to me? Why? But instead of asking why, well, it's not that the life is happening to us or to you, it's happening for you. That's what people don't get, and that's also gets them stuck. You just have to have faith, you have to have patience and be in the now, the present moment, instead of being stuck in that past, or in worrying about that future, the what if and things like that. That's what a lot of people have a hard time with, and this is the present life that we are living right now, and it's actually going by so quickly, but most of us are just stuck in the past, or like they're not enjoying the moment that you can connect the dots and figure all that out. It makes such a difference. Like I used to be like, wow, but now I just live my life day by day, and whatever happens, if something happens, yes, like financially, I'm not where I need to be or whatever. And, we've been struggling quite a bit the last little while, but I mean, instead of giving up and getting angry or whatever, I'm just saying, okay, well, it'll manifest, or it'll come when it's ready, or when I'm ready to receive it.
And the ego really wants to protect. So when these things that are going on that we don't really, that might cause stress, it wants to create a story. But what we can do to really, transmute, maybe a limiting belief, maybe the stress, maybe something that was carried on from our ancestors from a past life, is you being gratitude. And what we talked about is finding the gift. Well, what is the gift here? Like, if you're healing from your past or in the present moment, it's like really getting down on your knees and being like, thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity, because I see the lesson here. And that's not something that our society teaches at all, but it's really how you transmute these energies and you shift and radically transform your life. And it will not make sense. Will not make sense, but it's the only way. And I've heard a lot of people who are still going through their past and struggling with maybe like some relationships, and they're still attached to their story of, oh, my mom and dad did this and that, and or this person and that person did this and that. And it's just like that attachment is taking away all your power and blocking you from what you actually want to, what your soul actually wants you to live. And it's like, it's very, it takes a lot of practice, you know. It's really like, okay, I have to surrender to what all these programs, because it's a cycle. It's a habit we have done a lot of our lives. It's in our DNA and it's in our epigenetics that this is hereditary too. And it's just really being like, I am the one where it stops. I'm the cycle breaker. Like, I'm the one who's going to transmute this. And being in the gratitude of like, if I wasn't here, if I didn't go through every painful experience, I would not be who I am here today. I wouldn't be able to help people in the way that I am. I mean, might be very, very different. I might be boring. I might live a very unfulfilled life. You know, it's so high, we don't know. So I feel like this is where we are in the collective right now, as we're shifting at such a consciousness level of finding the gratitude and everything.
Yeah, gratitude changed my life.
That flow. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I always say to people, you know, rather than feeling bad about the bad experiences that you have had, and, you know, I've had this and I've had that, make a list of the things that you have achieved. Make a list of the things that you have, right? Make a gratitude list all the time. I mean, going into a new year, right? And we have like 3 weeks, and we're saying goodbye to 2023. So that could be something, you know, that, you know,
make a list.
I do it every year. I do a gratitude list every year and say thank you for an amazing year. Rather than looking, of course, we all had crazy moments, bad experiences that we so cool say as bad experience.
Those are stories we tell ourselves.
Those stories we tell ourselves. Maybe we've cried, maybe we've gone through a dramatic moment, a time, a period in our life in 2023. Rather than focusing on all those, you know, so-called bad experiences that you say to yourself, right? Look at what you have achieved. Look at what's happened amazingly, right, in 2023, right? And bring that gratitude list to your 2024 and start fresh. Because, you know, like they say, the way you go into the new year is what you will experience. Like they say, when the clock strikes 00, right? If you're, this is what my dad used to say, it's really make me laugh, and I have to say it out loud. So I said, if you're in the toilet for 2000, you know, if you're in the toilet at 000, you'll always be in the toilet for the rest of the whole year. So it's like, funny. When you think of it, it's actually saying, in a way, that, hey, if you just, you know, wash away, you know, all those things. But it's like the way you actually, what mindset you are, that's the mindset you will attract into the new year as well. And
yeah, exactly.
Communicating with yourself and saying, hey, do you want to have a depression year of sorrow and regret, or do you want to have a year of gratitude?
Or being a victim.
Or being a victim, yes.
Poor me, oh, poor me, oh, poor me.
Yeah, right. I haven't done this, I haven't done that, and I haven't achieved this, and I haven't achieved that. Oh, I haven't manifested a new house yet, and I'm still in that. You know, giving that sorrow thoughts into you, you'll never get out of it. Right? You'll always be in that mindset.
Yeah. It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. But the way you actually say to yourself, okay, this is not going to be my future. This is not going to be my new year. Right? Someone asked a question today about, do you believe in New Year resolutions? And I was like, hey, that's a weird question to ask, right? Because we all have them, right? But why do they not work? Some people say, right, I've got this New Year resolution. it's because of the mindset that you have, right? So putting down a New Year resolution of what you want to achieve is actually telling yourself that this is what I want, right? Having a fear towards what you want, you won't get it. So people are like, yeah, well, I write down what I want for the year.
That's true.
And none of it happens. So
Yeah,
why
like
should
if you
I
have a
believe in
scarcity
writing down
mindset,
a New Year resolution,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Like if you write down your resolutions, like to manifest them, and you have a negative way of thinking about it, well, it's not going to happen for sure. You have to be able to put sprinkle a little bit of positivity on that, on that piece of paper.
Powerful year.
Yeah, imagine.
And just start small.
It's a triple year.
If you're trying to shift your mindset and manifest new, start small.
Yeah,
you don't
you have to
to
start
jump
small.
to,
Yeah.
a new house. It could be, I want to manifest like a gift, or I want to
try yourself
experience a
out.
really yummy meal. And then, you have a friend who invites you out and they're
Yeah,
like, let me treat you or
baby
something,
steps.
and that's what I've really noticed when I surrendered and allowed and just detached from a lot of the wants that I thought I wanted. I mean, I have so many people who give me their lightly used clothes that they don't use anymore. They're like, oh, and I never go shopping now. It's great. Like
I love that.
We're so abundant in that way of, it's like, where am I blocking people giving to me, and what do I not need, or when I'm overflowing, who can I share this with? What's my intention? If I surrender my ego, surrender all, the nonsense of my mind, and just allow God, the universe, to come through, where am I meant to be? And then as a projector, it's waiting for the invitation. So it's a little different as, we step into our strategy and inner authority using human design. But it's a journey. It's not this instant gratification process where, we're just really programmed to think like, okay, if I do X, Y, and Z for like 30 days, I'm going to get 10K in a month.
Yeah.
It's just like, it doesn't work like that. And that's not what you're here to experience as a soul in a human body. I mean, maybe
it's a constant work in progress. Like,
but it's building that foundation. Sorry, Wendy, what were you going to say?
No worries. No, I was just gonna say, like, we're a work in progress. Like, it's not something that you can just practice for a month or a week or whatever and expect your life to change. It's a constant, like, even when you have the tools and even when you've healed and you peeled off the layers, I mean, it's always a work in progress. Like, we're never, I think, completely healed 100% because we're always learning, right? Life is that's what it is. Life is full of lessons. So even if you're the most positive person on earth, or even if you're still going to get challenges come your way, so it's, but having the tools and all that, it helps, because once you're aware and you're self-aware, you can just, take a step back and say, oh, okay. And then you can kind of kick yourself in the butt. Here.
So do you guys ever get the tea bags that have little messages up for the day on them?
Oh, yes, I had some.
Okay, so I read mine today, and then I just saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so in alignment. It says, accept the challenge you are facing. It may become your greatest gift.
Oh my God, that just gave me goosebumps
today.
Wow. And I'm like, we manifested this topic.
Yeah. And you hadn't read that until now? Wow.
Well, I read it before and I was like, I wonder what this has to do with. And then as we're talking about it.
Wow, that's real.
Synchronicities.
That's really awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. I love synchronicities. So I think, wow, it's already 9:04. Yeah, here anyway, almost an hour. So wow, time flies by when you're having fun.
Right. This was so amazing. Thank you, ladies, so much for having me and
really amazing.
Allowing me to discuss this with you all.
Really happy to meet you as well.
Happy to meet you.
So and moving forward, we're going to be here every week at the same time on Mondays. And yeah, we'll just, you know, talk, have a coffee chat over coffee, and just talk about anything. That's what this group is about. It's, you know, it's about women gathering together, talking about all sorts of stuff, you know, and sometimes we can talk about pretty freaky topics too. So it's great to have this safe space to, you know, that allows us to, you know, to talk freely about, you know, certain things too. So yeah, it all depends on whatever. We just wing it and just choose a topic the day of, and then we end up having an amazing conversation like we just had. So it's awesome. I really thank you so much for joining, and I'm really happy to have you with us, Lauren. And I'm looking forward to more to come. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. And from my heart to yours, have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.